Welcome to Can Angels Fly. I'm Nancy, and I'm here to just make a short video. And this video is about a subject that is unbelievable. You can't imagine it. You're not imaginative enough. It is something that some would deem a conspiracy theory. It just doesn't make sense at all. It's impossible. This subject that I'm going to cover in a very brief video is the same goal that Adolf Hitler had. And that goal was world domination. Now, Adolf Hitler is just an example of a person or persons that had the grand goal to dominate the world. He's just one example. That historical event, although it was horrific, is just an example of one set of people, one person. World domination is a shared goal for some. These are people that set real high goals. Again, this video is going to be brief, but I want to enlighten you, to get you to see world domination is not a conspiracy theory. It's not something that one could create barely using their imagination. World domination is a real goal, a real agenda. Now, some of us have problems setting goals from day to day. That goal could be just to get out of bed, clean the house, go to work, wash the dishes. Other goals could be very basic goals, is save some money in your bank. Some of us are just not goal-oriented enough, not full of purpose nor hope. But there are others on the opposite side of the spectrum that are full of zeal, and they are goal-oriented, and they don't seek to fulfill small, insignificant goals, but to accomplish major, transcendental, life-changing goals. It's a word, a term, a statement that I've heard before that I can't grasp. But it has to do with a person having an extreme, the extreme quality of achieving goals, setting these grandiose goals. World domination is a grandiose goal. Grandiose goal. And it is possessed by those that understand what true wealth is, what this realm is really about, and so much more. But I'm going to keep this video brief. What the majority of humanity is not aware of is that this experience here has the capability to be whatever the inhabitants want it to be. This physical place can be heaven or hell. It is based on what you want, what we want, what the inhabitants want. So one of the first phases of world domination is to destroy the masses, all the extra. Oh, I forgot that's phase 2. Because the first phase is to work a motherfucker half to death or to death in order to hoard the natural resources on this earth. Because the natural resources are what help us combat life, survive in life, to achieve a level of heaven without having to do so much work to sustain your life. Once you have those natural resources that create the technological advancements, the medication, etc., etc. So, these special goal, extremely goal oriented folks that are after big game, and the game is dominating this world, understand that they had to have the natural resources, in short, in order to extend their life and to make it comfortable. Once that was accomplished, they no longer needed the masses, the working people. Get rid of them. Why must they be gotten rid of? It is because they, if they're still alive and in this realm, they need to use some of the resources too. Get rid of them. Because what we, not me, those extremely goal-oriented people after big game dominating the world, they need that savings, that storage. And then the game continues. I am making this video again because this is one of the most important things people, general people, everyday people in humanity have to come to understand. Understand it wholeheartedly. That this place, let's stop and imagine. If this place is constructed to be heaven or hell, and the inhabitants get to choose what state this physical realm is in. Now this is, how can I say that? This is the process of world domination. They, those extremely goal-oriented people that after big game world domination are where this place can be heaven or hell. Hell is destructive. So that's the course we're on now. Because what those goal-oriented people are moving to do is to hoard all the natural resources in order to help sustain their life. They're going to store them up and then kill everybody else because they got to reduce the demand. And so these extremely goal-oriented people are what is left. They are the inhabitants of the earth. They will be the inhabitants of the new earth, heaven here on this earth. And they're going to use all the resources that the rest of dead humanity has helped collect, refine, and hoard for them. World domination. But until the general public, the majority of humanity, understand this is not a conspiracy theory, but an actual goal for some people, you won't open your eyes to see anything else. Now, let's talk about this realm, this physical place, as a heaven. Now, many of us haven't had the pleasure of seeing a beautiful waterfalls or an environment, atmosphere that is not contaminated. Many of us haven't had the pleasure to see some of the natural habitats and the animals that reside in those habitats untouched. No, we are condensed and compressed into concentrated areas on this globe. So what am I saying? Is that most of us don't even get to see this physical place in its natural origins, or as close as possible nowadays. So many of us don't even have the concept that this place can be a heaven here on earth. Another thing about this place, this physical place, it is self-contained ecosystem. And our bodies, physical clay vessels, were created to fit and to function in this realm. Based on what I know through my experiences, including past life experiences, there's nowhere like this place. Because this physical body got its wants and its needs. And we all know how it feels to have some of those wants and needs met. So could you imagine living in this place with all your wants and needs met and not having to go to work, but only having to or being free to explore the remainder of the mysteries that are hidden here, all of which will make life easier or sustain it? So, what was this video really about? To let you know that Hitler was just a historical example of extreme goal-oriented people or groups that want to dominate this world and bring back a state of heaven without all the demands associated with keeping everybody alive. But there was only one way they can do it, and that was to manipulate everybody throughout the history of mankind to help them hoard the natural resources to sustain them from one generation to the next. Before I go, one more thing to look at. Remember, this is about coming to understand this is truth. It's not fiction. It's not something created barely out of someone's imagination, or it's not, again, conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy thing. This is a real thing. And you're blinded to it by all the spells. Maybe one day I'll do a video breaking down some of the spells in this physical world. I've already begun that. But the next thing is pay attention. The one thing that humans haven't thus far, that I know of, been successful at doing is overcoming death. So pay attention. Scientists are searching for the autogene. They're looking at AI, artificial intelligence, and what do you call it? Cyborg kind of beings, hoping that, and the entrapment of the human consciousness. Why are they seeking to unfold these mysteries? It's because if they can live out their life in the human form that they're born in, and before they die, they are able to transform their individual collective human consciousness into some type of artificial intelligence and insert it into a cyborg or a robotic being and continue to live in this world just in a new physical body, guess what? They'll be in heaven forever. Remember, at least my religion, remember, promises eternal life. One way or another, whether we want to accept it or not, we get eternal life. So it's important to wake up to these hardcore, cold facts that we look at as a person's imagination or a conspiracy theory. Thank you for coming to Can Angels Fly. Until next time, bye.